Hey all, hey y'all. Hey all, hey y'all. My name is Ashley Nicole Phillips, and you are most likely watching this Kingdom Things podcast live edition, um, at a later time. My name is Ashley Nicole Phillips. I am a channel for the divine. I channel energies and messages for God, God's creation. I channel energies and messages for the Most High Creator. Not only do I channel energies and messages for the Most High Creator, but I have anchored in my divine essence into my human vessel in order to create, act, and be as, in order to create, act, and be as the divine being in which we all are. Now, the title of this Kingdom Things podcast is Time to Transcend Martyrdom. Time to Transcend Martyrdom. And I'm going to pull up the definition of martyrdom. Martyrdom, Oxford Languages, the death or suffering of a martyr. The death or suffering of a martyr. Another definition here is a display of feigned or exaggerated suffering to obtain sympathy or admiration. We do both as, divine souls having this human experience with amnesia to the fact that we're divine energies having this human experience. We do both. We not only do we kill each other for our beliefs, as a martyr is a person who is killed because of their religious or other beliefs. So martyrdom is when you kill someone for their religious beliefs. A martyrer is a person that is whom is killed for their religious or other beliefs. Martyrdom is the death or suffering of a martyr. Martyrer is the person that is killed for their beliefs or religion. As well as martyrdom is a display of feigned or exaggerated suffering to obtain sympathy or admiration. As divine energies having this human experience with amnesia to the fact that we're divine energies having this human experience, we do both. We suffer the death of for our beliefs and religions, as well as we display feigned or exaggerated suffering to obtain sympathy or admiration. Our souls, our energies are fully conscious of everything that's happening at all times. Our souls, the energies in which animate our human vessels, are always fully conscious of what's happening at all times. It is our humanism in which we're being called to align with our divinity or our souls, in order for our humanism to be able to perceive more of all that is, or perceive creation, or perceive God, or perceive self. Myself, I'm being guided to speak about myself. I was just having dinner in the kitchen, on the kitchen island. And I've been doing a lot of shadow work. Piecing together of the puzzle. Shadow work or piecing together of the puzzle. Shadow work or piecing together of the puzzle. I'm going to say that one more time because of the power of 3. Shadow work or piecing together of the puzzle. I've been doing an exponential amount of shadow work for the past few days. And for the past few months, for the past few years, if I'm being honest. Leading up to this moment right here on this live Kingdom Things podcast episode titled Time to Transcend Martyrdom. I was standing at the kitchen island eating dinner, and the question of who am I, has been swirling for the past couple of years as, I've been on a fast-tracked ascension process to anchor in my divine essence, to walk and be as, to be activated within my divine essence, my divinity, my God, goddess essence, my God, goddess essence, my God, goddess essence, my God, goddess essence. So I'm sitting at the kitchen island eating dinner, right? And I'm like, that's a great question, because I've been shedding so much energy. And when I've been shedding so much energy. I'm just like, I'm introspecting on my life. And I'm like, the embodiment of who I was 2 years ago, I thought that was Ashley. The embodiment, the way I showed up, the way I presented 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years, 6, the way I thought I showed up and presented, I thought that was Ashley. And for so long, I could not perceive anything outside of that box of the energies in which I was stagnated in, those energies in which I called Ashley. So I've been shedding energy, and the notion and the understanding that, we're divine energies having this beautiful human experience to create our stories, to have a good time, to assist with creation, to be. And not to stagnate in energies. For millennia, we've been stagnated in energies, and our DNA has been offline or deactivated, as we only operate out of 3 to 7% of our DNA. We've been stagnated in these same energies for millennia, right? So the energies that I thought I was 2 years ago are energies that my ancestors were stagnated in. My ancestors' ancestors were stagnated in. As we are all one, we've been stagnated in these energies for millennia. So the girl I was 2 years ago, I thought was Ashley. I thought that was Ashley. But those were energies in which, as divine energies, we came here to transcend. So I'm sitting at the kitchen island and I'm eating and I'm listening to a YouTube video that I use for shadow work, because I'm intuitively guided to these videos, because these videos trigger energies within me in order to be able to perceive more myself. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the video, and it was something about someone wants to get to know who you are. Someone wants to get to know who you are. And I'm like, that's a great question. And then I was guided to just, be still. God was like, just be still, be still, be still. And I got the download, the understanding that the way in which we are, the way in which we act, the way in which we perceive, in our states of being before we are activated in our divinity, before we anchor in our divine essence, that's like us on pause mode. That's us on pause mode. That is us on, God has us on layaway. God has us on layaway. God has us put to the side. God has us on reserve. God has us on a reserve. Before we anchor in our divine essence, we're not even living a minute aspect, dimension of who we are. And I'm going to explain to you how that fits in with me. The video is like, this person wants to get to know who you are. And I'm going to be candid a bit, as I'm being guided to be. It's my divine counterpart, or my twin flame, because I'm on a twin flame journey. It's not a secret. My twin flame catapulted me into my exponential ascension journey. So it's like your twin flame wants to know who you are, because if they feel like they don't know you. And I'm sitting like, I feel like I don't know me. I was like, that's very interesting, because I feel like I don't know me. The person I thought was Ashley 2 years ago, that was just energies that I was stagnated in. And as I start to shed these energies, I'm starting to perceive in color. I'm starting to perceive in color. Before I was perceiving in black and white, and now I'm perceiving in color, where I listen to my intuitive guidance. Before I did, I heard my intuitive guidance loud and clear most of the time. Most of the time, I heard my intuitive guidance loud and clear, but I didn't listen to it. Now I'm following my intuitive guidance, and my intuitive guidance is opening me up to so many dimensions and aspects of myself that are beyond, it takes me a while to integrate and to process in my mental. The levels of astonishment in which myself has me in, or my soul has me in, or God has me in. It is an extreme level of astonishment that my soul or God, myself, has me in. Now that I follow my intuitive guidance, and like, just for example, like, I'm a foodie. I like food. I like food because I like culture. I love culture. I love culture. I love different cultures. I love different cultures. Like, that's something that's always resonated with me. It's culture. So I'm a foodie because I like trying different cultures' foods, because it's like I get to taste your history. And when I go into the grocery store, instead of going for the same things all of the time, now that I follow my intuition will guide me down the international aisle and tell me to pick up something that I never would have chosen. And I bring it home and I eat it, and I was like, oh wow, this is really good. This is really delicious. And I get to taste another dimension and aspect of myself. As we are one, there is no culture that is truly separate from another, as there is no person that is truly separate from another. So it's like, sitting there eating my Vietnamese pho. I've had pho before, but for years I've been looking for an instant noodle that's like non-GMO, non-artificial, like completely like natural and on the healthy side. And that's what my soul guided me to. It was a pho, which I love pho, a Vietnamese pho that was non-GMO, non-artificial. I was like, wow. And my soul guided me straight to it. So I'm sitting at the island kitchen eating my pho. And I got a download. I'm being guided to share this download, so I'm going to share it. Before I began my spiritual awakening, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I took on a lot of density as a soul I took on a lot of darkness as a soul in order to be able to get to a point where I can alchemize this darkness and shine equivalent light. Shine just as much as I was in the dark. Shine just as much as I was in the dark. So as I was growing up, my life as I was growing up, through my journey, and thank you, darkness. Darkness is not here to hurt. Darkness helps with the creation. Darkness assists with creation, just as every dimension and aspect of a creation assists with creation. The darkness was like, Ashley, the demons were like, Ashley, we never wanted to hurt you. Like, we were rooting for you. Like, we wanted you to beat our asses. We wanted you to beat us. We wanted you to transcend us. The demons were like, Ashley, the darkness is like, Ashley, we wanted you to transcend us. We wanted you to catapult you into a new dimension of yourself. We wanted your fight with us to catapult you into a new dimension of yourself. They're like, we've seen this movie. We've seen this tape over and over again. We're the same energies that your ancestors fought. We're the same energies that your ancestors fought. We wanted to see the sequel. We were rooting for you, Ashley. So I've been encased in these dense, dark energies. We call them demons. They're really road dogs. We call them demons, but they're really rooting for us and they're here to make us better. They're wanting to make us better. They're here to shape us into better. So my whole life I was encased with darkness and these demons, and what I did to survive. I'm a savant soul. My soul is highly evolved. To the point where I can compute energy so quickly that it's defying. I don't like to talk myself up. I really don't, and that's one thing that I have to work on. Like, I don't like talking myself up, but it's the truth. My soul is highly evolved to the point where it defies our perception of reality. My soul is so highly evolved it defies our perception of nature. My soul is so highly evolved it defies our perception of nature. My soul is so highly evolved it defies our perception of nature. So I can compute energies really quickly to the point where I consciously before could not perceive that this is what I was doing. I could not consciously before perceive this is what I was doing. My life as I was a child, a teenager, a young adult, I could not consciously, I wasn't aligned with my divinity to be consciously aware that this is what I was doing, but this is what I was doing. And I was a people pleaser. I felt like I had to be a people pleaser to survive, because I had these dark energies in me that said that I was going to be hurt, that they didn't like me, that this world was against me. These dark energies within me that was projecting this reality said that they were going to hurt me. They're out to hurt me. And with that being the case, there were many times where I was ostracized. There were many times where I felt ousted. There were many times where I felt like an outcast, because of these dark energies that I took on, because of these demons that I took on. So I'm sitting at the kitchen island, and it's like, God hit me with the download. Who are you, Ashley? God was like, the way you were operating before, like you were in, like, I don't even know what this means. I'm about to look it up, but God, so you were in stealth mode. You were in stealth mode. I'm about to look it up right now because I want to know what it means. Stealth. Oh, God was like, you were in stealth mode, Ashley. I'm nervous. Cautious and superstition, action or movement. Cautious and superstitious action or movement. Designed in accordance with technology that makes detection by radar or sonar difficult. Give me 1 second, y'all. Stealth, Oxford Languages. Cautious and superstitious action or movement. Noun, the adjective is chiefly of aircraft. Designed in accordance with technology that makes detection by radar or sonar difficult. Stealth, design in accordance with technology that makes detection by radar or sonar difficult. Cautious and superstitious action or movement. God was like, Ashley, your whole life you've been in stealth mode. You've been in stealth mode. You've been in stealth mode. That's why you don't truly have an identity. You truly didn't have an identity because you've been in stealth mode. The way you've been operating, I'm going to tell you exactly how my mind went. I was sitting at the counter eating, and I was thinking about back when I was a child. Like I would just be in my head all the time. I would just observe. I would just be observing. I'd be in my head and I would just observe the environment. I do know that I'm very observant. I just observed the environment. What I was doing though is I was calculating who I would show up as so that I was not hurt. So that I didn't make noise, so that I didn't draw attention to myself. So I would say, since I can remember, I would just look. I would just observe, and then I would show up as how people, what satisfied. I was a people pleaser. So what satisfied people? How can I satisfy people? I'm gonna show up like that so they don't hurt me. I'm show up like that so that I'm okay. So my whole life, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing my entire life. And when you're a child, you develop your characteristics and how you operate in this world until you meet yourself again, until you figure out why you act the way you act. When you're a child, you develop the way you show up in the world. You develop your characteristics. You develop who you present yourself to be until you decide to go within, face yourself once again. When you're a child, you develop the way you show up and act within the world, your characteristics, and you'll show up in the world and your life until you decide to face yourself once again. So I decided to face myself once again, or I was led to face myself once again as per God's plan. This is always God's plan. This is always God's plan. This is always God's plan. Why, Ashley? Ashley, you've been in stealth mode. You've been acting out of a small portion of who you truly are, what you truly are, what I designed you to be. Ashley, you were not created to be in stealth mode. You were not created to tiptoe. You're an elephant in a fucking china shop and make noise. Make noise, make noise, make noise. I've been in stealth mode. I've been in stealth mode. So I'm sitting at the kitchen island eating my Vietnamese pho. Non-GMO, natural, organic. And I recall the way I just observed the room and calculated how I would show up. And then I remember what I did when I was alone. I remember what I did when I was alone. I remember what I would do when I was alone. When I was alone, I would daydream. And now I know I wasn't daydreaming. God was just streaming in reminders of why I was truly here. Outside of my room, I was always on stealth mode. I was always trying to show up so that I would not be detected. So I wouldn't make noise. What would I dream about? I dreamt about I'm being guided to say save the world. I dreamt about saving the world. I dreamt about making the world a better place. I dreamt about assisting with making the world a better place. I dreamt about assisting with making the world a better place. I knew people weren't supposed to be suffering. I knew there was no need for people to suffer. I knew there were solutions. I'm like, why? Why? I was in the 3rd grade. And a girl who I was like a casual friend with, her father got deployed for in the army to go fight in Iraq. And we were walking on the track, and she was telling me and this other girl about it, and she was super sad, and she was like, yeah, my father, he's gone, he's in the army, gonna fight in Iraq. And I remember thinking, like, why? Like, why is there war? I knew that there was a solution. I would just sit there and I was like, that doesn't, like, it didn't sit right with me. I knew there was a solution. This episode of Kina Things Podcast is entitled Time to Transcend Martyrdom. Time to transcend martyrdom. We fight over these identities that are not even truly us. We kill ourselves over these identities in which are not even truly us. These energies and identities that create these energies that create these identities that we show up as are our beingness in stealth mode. We are meant to transcend these energies. How, Ashley? I bit my lip. How, Ashley? By facing yourself. Going within, sitting with yourself, meditating, looking at those energies and emotions that we run from. Yes, it is difficult. Yes, it is a hard time. Yes, it is painful. Yes, it is earth-shaking. Yes, it is earth-shattering. Yes. But what it also is in alignment with the true intentions of who you are. The alignment with the true intentions of why you came here. The alignment with the true intentions in which your soul wants you to take heed to. When I was on my spiritual awakening journey, I bump into a lot of content that is synchronistic. My soul wants me to hear it, take heed to it. And I remember listening to this one podcast. And I don't remember the souls' names. But I was listening to this one podcast, and they were talking about our destiny and our fate. And they were like, if you have a big ego, congratulations, because you have a big destiny and a big fate. If you have a big ego, congratulations, you have a big destiny, you have a big fate. If you have a big ego, congratulations, you have a big destiny, a big fate. What do you mean, Ashley? Our egos are comprised with the energies in which we took on a soul level, our ancestral energies, in order to transmute these energies, these dark energies, into light, in order to thrust us into new dimensions of ourselves, or our divine alignment, our God purpose, like the purpose of why God created you. Isn't that so beautiful? Like, nobody ever told, like, this, nobody, like, is it common knowledge that, you were created intentionally by God for a specific purpose? And this specific purpose, not only is it fulfilling, not only is it something that can bring you mass abundance, not only is it something that can fulfill your soul, your heart, but it's like the dreams that you had when you were a child. Those dreams those are God's plans for you. Those dreams that you had as a child, those were God's highest plans for you. Those dreams that you had as a child, those are God's highest plans for you. The dreams that you had as a child, that was God's highest plans for you. And nobody told us that. But I'm glad I'm here to spread the message. That's part of my purpose, is to help people transcend karma in order to get in alignment with their dharma, or the purpose of why they were created. And the purpose of why you were created is manyfold. God's like, as long as your intentions are to be of assistance to the whole, or God, or yourself, everything else will fall into place. Everything else will fall into place. So martyrdom, we hurt each other, kill each other over these energies that we were meant to shed. I'm going to sit back, and Count Saint Germain is going to channel through myself. And I'm going to say I'm super excited, because I resonate deeply in my soul, my heart, with Count Saint Germain. He can speak a plethora of languages, which is something that I admire and aspire to get into alignment with. So I'm super excited. I'm going to go ahead and sit back and allow Count Saint Germain to channel through myself. Thank you in advance, Count Saint Germain. Thank you, Ashley. I'm honored and excited for you to have me on your podcast, in this space, in this reality. It is exciting to say that. I'm excited to be on your podcast. The magnificent and glorious times in which we are in which the timelines are crossing and merging, as you like to say, or the understanding of creation is collapsing in on itself in a way that is so magnificent. Chaotic, yes, but a beautiful chaos that can only create greatness, can only spawn great intentions, can only spawn great additions to the creation in which we call God. You are energy. You are energy, dear ones, and energy is science. Science is calculable. You are calculable. The things you do, the places you go are calculable as. The things you do, the places you go are determined by the energies in which you embody. The great news is the energy in which you embody is not only interchangeable, is not only transmutable, but is also intended to be transmuted in order to catapult you into your perceived destiny, your perceived fate, as you truly have not one destiny, you truly have not one fate, as you, my dear ones, get to decide what destiny and what fate is to you, as you do have free will in this creation which we call planet Earth. The alchemical process in which you are able to transcend the energetic embodiment in which you call yourself is one that is not only pertinent but has to be done. The alchemical process to transcend the energetic embodiments in which you have held on to for millennia is one in which has to be enacted, for if you do not, dear humanity, you will only unleash a cataclysmic bomb of energies in which will divulge and emanate circumstances and conditions for your planet in which would work in opposition to Ashley's dream for humanity to transcend into a reality of activated human beings, a reality of purposeful human beings, a reality of high consciousness human beings, in which find solutions for disease, in which find solutions to encourage peace, in which finds solutions for famine, in which finds solutions for poverty, in which finds solutions for the dissemination of informations to allow humanity, to allow human beings of planet Earth to live and create their reality as they choose to live within the realities and create their realities as. As Count Saint Germain, I knew martyrdom all too well, as I have and had traveled to many dimensions and spaces and places, had many incarnations and dimensions and spaces and places where the belief in the energies in which you embody is a belief that is magnificent, and magnificent in a way in which the dedication to the characters in which you play is no longer needed. The dedication to the characters in which you play is no longer needed. The dedication to the characters in which you play is no longer needed. Ashley is having trouble with grasping her identity. Ashley must understand that identity is far less important than purpose. Ashley must understand that identity is far less important than purpose, for identity changes. Identity is interchangeable. Purpose is lasting, as purpose is an aim, a goal, a direction in which you march towards for everlasting, with everlasting faith. A purpose is a destiny, is a mission, is a goal in which you march towards with everlasting faith, while identity wavers. Identity wavers. One day, dear ones, you like... One day, dear ones, your love for things is different than the next. I wanted to say something else, but Ashley was embarrassed. One day, dear ones, your love for things is different than the next. Identity wavers while mission and purpose is an everlasting journey of striving into new dimensions of identity, new dimensions of self, new dimensions of God. I have been Count Saint Germain. Whenever you are in need of healing or love, please call on the violet flame, the violet flame, the violet flame, the violet flame for comfort and healing as dimensions and aspects of creation. I hope we all strive to provide comfort and healing to the next dimension and aspect of God's creation. Thank you, Ashley. Give me 1 second. 1 second. That was fun. That was a good time. That was a good time. I was aware that Count Saint Germain is extremely astute and very well versed in language. So when I was on my walk this afternoon before I came in to do this live Kingdom Things podcast, I was nervous. I was nervous. I was nervous because he said he wanted to talk about science and the alchemical process. He said he wanted to talk about the alchemical process. And then I'm practicing new levels of surrendering. So, I was just allowing him to flow through and give me the download that he needed, but it was sparse, very little information. And he was like, don't worry, you'll be fine. I'll use diction in which, you have in your database, in your bank of knowing, your bank of knowledge. I was like, okay, cool. So I know Count Saint Germain is super, extremely astute and well-versed in language. So I was nervous, and the pauses were a part of the process. I'm grateful to have been able to channel Count Saint Germain. Thank you again, Count Saint Germain, for being a part of this transition in creation. Again, my name is Nicole Phillips. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this Kingdom Things podcast. Again, my name is Nicole Phillips. I don't only channel the energies and messages and publish them in the Kingdom Things podcast. Again, these energies and messages are intended to assist with the upliftment of the human consciousness. The energies and messages in which I channel and publish in the Kingdom Things podcast are free to utilize for the public. It's free to utilize in the public. So please, you're more than welcome to utilize the Kingdom Things podcast content to assist yourself on your own journey of expansion and aligning with higher levels of conscious awareness of yourself in order to be able to manipulate and create your reality as you intended on a soul level before you incarnated. I'm also a spiritual practitioner, so I do hold private powwow sessions, one-on-one spiritual powwow sessions, where I channel specific energies and messages to yourself, in which your soul knows you need, and which God knows you need to assist you with transcending any energies within you that can help you walk in a refined, divinely refined embodiment of the energy that is you, in order to project or create a divinely refined reality that you're worthy of. Again, my name is Nicole Phillips. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love on yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because as you love on yourself, you love yourself into alignment and conscious awareness of your truest truths. Self-love is the best love because you are love and you are truest truths. Give that love to yourself first.